Welcome back, guys. Hope you did enjoy that little break with the parody drama once again. We will be getting subtitles for that before the second series, so make sure you guys are looking forward to that. So we can understand it a little bit better. It was a bit fun, but Afreeca trying something once again with Spirit, and the Fiddlesticks did not work, and KT alongside Snowflower, who picked up the MVP for the first time actually on his Thresh, did do a nice job of shutting it down.
Yeah, he definitely hit some pretty clutch hooks throughout that game and managed to help start the whole bottom lane snowball that really helped that game spiral out of control. And so now, moving into game number 2, I mean, the draft wasn't really the problem for Afreeca, but we'll have to see if maybe they're going to mix something up for game number 2, as even when they did almost finally start to stabilize in that previous game, then it all just crumbled in the blink of an eye.
I really like the Vlad last pick on red side. I feel like especially when you put it up in the top lane, it's just, it can get very far ahead, especially up against a tank. So we'll see if they try to do it Afreeca this time, as we have started the bans already.
And Lissandra being banned away first by KT. Afreeca responding with the LeBlanc. And now KT, this is patch 9.2 and you're banning Galio.
Thinking.
Yeah, thinking emoji in chat, wherever you are watching this from. And the Thresh now being banned away by Snowflower.
Yeah, you know, I like that. Gave you so much trouble, and especially if you want to play squishy kind of mage supports, just take it away. Just don't let him have it. I'm a big fan of doing that in pick bans.
And, well, Akali now being banned by KT, and here we go, moment of truth again. Will Cassiopeia be banned by the red team?
Wasn't banned in game 1, and it's not going to be banned in game 2, as what is going on?
Yep. we got a quick bug here. Someone dodged immediately.
Just, guys, look away.
Yeah, everyone, hold on.
This is not safe.
Cassiopeia wasn't banned. That's definitely a cause for a
remake. The game
remake.
just shut itself down and said, wait, no, you guys must have made a mistake.
No, listen. Hold on, guys.
Hey, like, Cassiopeia
You're banning Aatrox in 9.2. All right, so not
KT coach is having a headset issue, so they decided to sabotage the game.
Understandable.
Yeah.
That definitely did look like an issue.
His headset just went bonkers after that, as he doesn't look too impressed. His team was able to pick up game number 1, but I don't know.
Well,
he's not going to be happy with that, as now he's got a cool box.
That's pretty cool.
Not
that
sure
looks like
how
one
that
of those
works.
Remote control toy car things.
Yeah, it does actually.
When we were
with more lights and buttons, though.
Yes.
It's like a fun toy for a adult. You ever buy like toy cars and play with them in your spare time, LS?
No, I always wanted to get a drone.
Yeah.
I never bought one. I saw a drone in Korea once, but there's competitions.
Yeah, they have drone
racing.
racing.
Yeah, I found out about that about a month ago.
Is that the next thing you go pro in, LS?
No, the BBQ has a drone team, but it not.
What?
Yeah, in China.
What?
So I don't know if it's
this story got very interesting very quickly.
Not called BBQ, but I think the ESC company has a drone team in China.
What?
Yeah, they play in competitions.
That is the most random thing.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yep.
In quite a while, but that's pretty cool. So when are you moving to China and joining the team?
Nope, not going there. I was in Hong Kong about a week and a half ago, and the air was not.
Was it not good?
It was not good. It was the opposite of what is good.
I love Hong Kong though.
Hong Kong was very nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was so close.
You get to do any like touristy kind of things?
No. Well, I went to Victoria Peak. Yes, I did. I went.
Yeah.
I went on the ferry. I went to Victoria Peak. That was a really nice view.
Okay. I like that. Yeah.
So Hong Kong was a definitely enjoyable experience. I had the NA education, so I thought it was a further plane ride than it was.
Yeah.
But it's really close. It's only 3 hours.
Yeah, it's super close.
Yeah. I thought it was like 6 or something, but...
Thing about Korea, if you live here, is like, it's hard to vacation in America or Europe, right? Because they're both, you know, at least
you just go to another
10
state.
hours
That's not
away.
cool.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you live in Korea, to try to fly anywhere in America or Europe, it's just so far away, right?
Yeah.
But you are very close to all the Asian countries, so
Yes.
you can do the whole Asia tour. You know, go
Yeah.
Japan, Hong Kong, China, whatever you want to do. It's all very, very close if you are here. As that looks like a cane turtle. Do you get the joke, Ellis? I don't really get it. I don't want you guys to go down to relegations. I suppose that was the closer sign on the bottom side. But the cane turtle, still boggling my mind. I don't get it.
I don't think BDD has any idea. I think someone just told him the joke. He's looking on. He's pondering.
Oh, of course, you got to come to Lal Park
That
on your
guy's
birthday.
Sign's upside down. Yeah. All right. He just fixed it. All right. He's so embarrassed he even turned it around.
Oh,
He can't
no.
do it. Now he's hiding his face. I would too.
On the 2nd of February, get 2 wins. Let's kaja to 2 wins for KT. That's a cool birthday to have.
Yeah.
The 2nd of February, 2-2.
The best birthday is the leap year day. That's really rare.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare, but it also sounds confusing.
Why?
What do you do if you don't have it?
What do you mean? Oh,
that
like
didn't really explain much,
the
but-
February 28th.
Yeah,
or
like, what if it's not a leap year? What
March
do you do?
1st.
Yeah.
You choose the day, I think.
You just go March 1st?
Huh?
Do you just go March 1st then? I think I'd probably go with the 28th,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
go with the 28th probably. 28th's better. Safer pick for sure.
He says in the Japanese rank server there are so many Koreans, strong Koreans, good Koreans, that he can't rise in the ranks. Feels bad, man.
Have you ever played on the Japanese server?
No, I haven't, actually. I heard that everybody's very polite there.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that from?
I have a friend that he traveled there just for vacation. He played like in a PC cafe, and he said it's not too much toxicity, which is very nice to hear.
The Japanese LoL server's been up now for I think about 2 years.
Yeah.
There's definitely Koreans in the high end of the MMR server. So, but the Japanese player, actually, now that I think about it, I don't really see that many Japanese pros in Korean solo queue that much anymore. I used to run into them a lot.
Yeah.
Around Master and whatever. They would often end up there, like D2, Master, now Grandmaster would be where they would probably end up, Mid-Masters. But for the most part, I don't see them that much anymore. And I wonder if that has to do with, like, even the LPL players tend to play on the Chinese servers now more so than on Korea. With the exception of a few famous players like Knight and Rookie. They're still very well known on the Korean server. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he fixed his mouse, but it is KT, so we still have to have more issues here, as they can't seem to find out what's going on with the blinking box and how to fix it. BDD's thinking about his next solo kill.
BDD is wondering why they picked Fiddlesticks into Thresh. That's what he just
can't seem to get over it. He's still thinking about it really deeply.
Were they thinking that was a good idea? I'm not quite. We gave them Cassio.
He's like, God, I just don't get it.
We can beat.
He's talking to himself. He's like, oh man, like,
we're in 9th place, but we can
beat
Cassiopeia. Like, how did this end up?
Spirit never stops smiling, by the way. Extremely nice guy.
Oh, and, well, on the right-hand side, KT fighting. Shimkunhe?
I don't know what
does
that
mean.
means.
It's the first time I...
What does it mean, though? Oh, KT in one character, Korean character. So instead of Shimkunhe, which is like, my heart's pounding, I guess, it's Shimkunhe, because it's KT.
Okay.
So sad that I had to explain that, as makes me cringe. But nice little sign here, like the drawing, as Annie's laughing at a moo-moo. That's not very nice.
Well, now we have
we have the best water here at Riot, by the way.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
You know how
top-notch water.
So this is how water works. If you can taste it, it's not good.
Yeah?
Yeah. The lack of taste is how you know that it tastes good. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
If you can taste it, it's bad. If you can't taste it, that's how you taste that it's good.
Okay.
You get it?
That's a little bit backwards, but I understand
You know
where
what?
you're coming from.
Don't judge me. Okay, I'm really trying here.
Who is Kabungi? Oh, it's Garen.
What? Why would
He
you
also
ever
wants to
wanna
see Garen.
Well, that's not a fan of good play.
He doesn't care. He just wants to see Garen.
Tune into LCS later, maybe, and maybe get his desires fulfilled.
Yeah.
This is actually a really long pause for a headset issue. I think that the bans were just perplexing everyone.
I know. They just
I'm
can't
looking back
it.
to see if there's a doctor on stage or something, but I'm not able to locate one.
The thing that I don't understand is that, you know, they want to fix the current headset and the Blinky box, but why don't you just get a new one? I mean, we have a lot of them backstage. I've seen them lined up.
Yeah.
Why not just go back, grab a new one, set the channel, and go?
Yeah, and for people in chat or whoever's watching this that might be wondering, well, why not just try to do it without the headset on? The issue is that the headsets, I believe, have white noise playing into them as a sound file. And so you can't actually take the headsets off, as blocks all the sound.
Yeah.
And the casters are live talking about the pick ban and not able to do that.
I actually heard that they're not allowed to talk about the game, the Korean casters, when anyone on stage takes their headset off. Because, you know, no booths. They want to make sure that, you know, if there's any issue, and anybody on stage, coach, player, it doesn't matter, they immediately have to stop talking about the game.
Yep.
So it's a good way to deal with it.
Score? Yeah,
this is Score fan in the audience, I believe, who flew in from somewhere in China. I think it was somewhere in South China to see Score. But,
well,
I want to see the legend of KT coming out today. Kaja, let's get 2 wins in a row. Kaja.
Now we're seeing Umpty on the screen here. I've heard that he's fluent in English.
I mean, he is a very big talent in English, yes. He loves Uv. I love Uv, of course, the famous, legendary coach, head coach of Afreeca. LS always does the full bow to him. Lots of respect to that guy. There he is. Always looks like a baller, too. He's got the best jackets.
Well, he's one of the reasons that the term macro started getting thrown around in esports. Back in the day, he used to be called Cheater Terran because people would complain that he had too many units. And they didn't understand, how do you have so many units? And so Cheater Terran basically alluding to, you must be cheating because this isn't possible. No one else gets to have this many units. And that's what he was known for. He was a macro player. He didn't really have flashy mechanics or anything that was super, you know, stylish or unorthodox. He just sort of plowed you over. And then he got nicknamed Gorilla Terran and whatnot. And so, interestingly, how unorthodox and unusual Afreeca's drafts and playstyle is really bizarre when you consider Oof's the coach.
Looks like he's got a really nice chin strap going on. Whoever this is. It's Yucal, actually. Confirmed that Yucal does not have a chin strap, by the way, but the picture made it look that way. It's a nice little angle as we focus in on the coach, as I think, I mean, he looks satisfied now, but not sure if it's 100% fixed, as a nice Western fan coming on in. Hello.
He was shown on broadcast.
He's like, God damn it.
He got caught.
I like the hair. He got some good stuff going on.
Yep.
He ran 2 hours. He probably just means he got here as fast as possible, over 2 hours to watch Yucal play.
Looks like they are.
Smeb is that high.
He's bothered by the lights. I'm bothered by the lights. So, can't blame him. And I wonder how this is actually affecting the player's mental state. I've never been in this position where there's just an extremely long extended pause It can definitely offset the mood and the tempo. And I mean, momentum's a really powerful thing too. KT coming off that win, they were probably feeling really, really good, wanted to get into game number 2. And I mean, this pause could actually help provide for a temporary mental reset for Afreeca after that game 1.
There's the cane turtle in the back again. I still don't understand.
I get it. We'll eventually get the joke.
Yeah. God.
This is actually a terrible joke.
Yeah. Spirit's, he's still smiling. He doesn't seem to be affected by anything. He's,
except thresh hooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, his
quite
kryptonite.
affected by that, yeah.
Oh, look, it's a table. Rise, Rice, Ride. Season 6, 2nd place.
What?
That's what it says on the left.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm curious what is on the table. I don't really know. Looks like rice, bowl, and a moo-moo. Looks like they're talking about Cloud Templar, I assume, but
all right.
There you go. As the headset is still not working, guys. That's the update. It seems like one of the KT coaches' headsets is not currently working, and so we're struggling to get the replacement for that. The referee's explaining why they didn't ban Cassiopeia.
Yeah, like, are you sure? You know,
like,
clarifying one extra.
You have to understand.
Yeah.
You have to, please understand. Dread is the turtle cane. Still don't get the reference.
It makes no sense. You like the Team Rocket earphones? That's what I think of.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
That is the Team Rocket symbol. 100%.
I actually don't know what brand that is, but maybe they could reach out to us on Twitter. Not 100%, but everybody's kind of having fun.
Player took off the headset right there.
Yeah, immediately Cloud Templar stops what he's talking about.
Stop talking about the game.
I mean, there's literally no game to talk about, right? So
yeah,
not much in terms of that. And again, we can't really complain, as Atlas and Papa the other day had to go through, it was an hour and 20 minutes of pause and delays the other day. Yeah. As I believe it was Umti's mouse just refused to work, something like that. As yeah,
oh, that's the interesting thing.
We're struggling to get there.
This so Riot Korea
that's Ambition, by the way,
is a little bit different than I believe LCS or LEC, where there's not mandatory keyboard and mice on standby, I think. Although maybe that rule's been changed. I haven't been a part of LCS or something for a few years now, so that used to be the old rule. And also, I mean, something off topic we can talk about, we were mentioning it a little bit earlier. The support Jarvan pick didn't influence solo queue at all.
Oh god, there he is. There he is again, the turtle cane.
It's coming. Eventually it's gonna get there.
It just says, let's pick Kane at the bottom. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Oh, man.
The game is resuming soon, as
we're about to hop back into the pick ban.
Okay.
Well, we'll see if they end up redoing it.
As I mean, they could redo it, but they'd have to redo the same bans, I would assume. Otherwise, that wouldn't be fair. IMO.
Speaking of picks that are influencing solo queue but not showing up in competitive, where's Karthus?
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk about this every cast. He is one of the most played junglers by a lot of the top solo queue players right now, or at least up until a few days ago, and he's just not showing his face in LCK.
He's a little bit shy. I understand. Yeah, that's why he hides in the jungle now.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
As same bands here, guys. Yep. No change up. They'll just do the same exact bands from the first time around. And we're actually going to get into this. It's actually happening, LS.
Yeah. Aatrox last ban for Afreeca. So we're getting Galio and Aatrox bans in 9.2. So don't know what world we're in right now, but Cassiopeia.
Not in BBQ's world, that's for sure.
KT getting a hold of that. Afreeca gonna respond with Lucian, probably Urgot. There's no top laner that contends with him right now. it's just such a blowout. In this patch, Riot chose to hit Aatrox, who was the premier champion to go up with against Urgot. So many other champions got hit, but Urgot, I mean, he just got a little slap on the wrist, so he'll be around for a couple more patches in mid and top lane, most likely. And now KT responding with one of the few champions that can at least contend or try to go even with him, and the Scion. The other option would be like a Ryze. And also, I mean, Cassiopeia, she doesn't really care about anyone, I guess, but that's sort of an exception.
Yeah.
Zoe now locked in for Afreeca, and Nocturne on the side of KT, so lots of heavy dive and engage, and I'm not quite sure why you would pick Zoe, knowing that Afreeca is trying to just charge head first at you. Definitely a bizarre pick to me.
Yeah, I mean, he played it the first time in game number 1. Wasn't able to pilot it to a victory, and he goes on to it again, so we'll hope that the mystery is solved if Afreeca can potentially take a win.
And Alistar now banned away by Afreeca. Kindred now banned away by KT, which is a little bit weird. Urgot sort of acts as a counter to Kindred, but I guess maybe they're thinking that Afreeca just wants to sit inside of the Kindred ultimate to deny the all-in Cassiopeia Nocturne engage, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And the Gragas is now getting banned away by Afreeca. So they're thinking maybe Gragas support would be on the table.
Thinking about this last ban, KT taking a long time to take away Kindred, and then the Olaf, once again, will be banned by them as it was in game 1.
And, oh, Afreeca.
Here it is.
There it is. And Spirit, big smile on his face and laughing.
Well, we saw how the fiddle went, so you got to go back to what works. Jarvan 2-0 against Jinner, you know, in the parentheses.
But now KT, I mean, their bottom lane isn't entirely decided yet. We don't know if that's going to be a Cassiopeia mid or if it's a Cassiopeia top. Shen. Well, Jarvan can ultimate Shen, but then he's going to be able to block it with the on-hit passive. The Shen also being able to basically submarine in on the Nocturne onto whatever carry Umti's going to choose to ult. And now KT, last pick. And the only thing that you don't know about right now on Afreeca's side is likely the jungler.
Oh, here we go! Aurelion Sol making its way in, as that's got to be for BDD. It's going to be the first time. As you see at the bottom, first pick. And it did just get buffed on 9.2 LS.
Yeah, he did just get the added stun duration, and what that ends up doing is it allows him to convert another passive hit and an auto attack in. So that's the way that you look at it from a damage standpoint. BDD was one of the original Aurelion Sol enthusiasts when he first came out. He's definitely not a stranger to the champion. Oh,
Kuro and Kramer in the audience.
Yep.
Hello. Kuro looking
yeah,
looking nice today. Very classy, nice watch too. Wow. Showed up to work.
He showed up here to watch is
Yeah.
what he's here for. So, last pick for Afreeca is Camille. And the whole thing just sort of blows me away. KT opens with Cassiopeia, follows it up with Nocturne Scion, and then Afreeca says, you know what, actually no, we're going to choose champions that engage into you. And so yet again, just like in game number 1, KT showed their hand face up, Afreeca just disregards it entirely, and chooses a composition that does worse what KT's is trying to accomplish, has some gears available to it, but I think that KT's draft, or Afreeca's draft, is definitely weaker than in game number 1. So we're going to have to see how this ends up doing. Look at the draft: Scion, Nocturne, Aurelion Sol, Cassiopeia, and Shen. They have globals. They have pseudo-globals. They have champions that roam and go everywhere together.
Yeah.
It is going to be so difficult for Afreeca to control the vision and try to stabilize this game. This entire game hinges on Camille being able to get advantages early with the Zoe, lock up the Aurelion Sol, control the river vision, and try to get to the mid game with enough of a gold lead to force it down KT's throat.
And as always, easier said than done, LS. We've seen so many teams come out with a certain composition and fail to play to their win objective. So we'll have to wait and see if Afreeca can turn it around here up against KT as we hop into game 2. As I'm getting the word that the game is paused, as you guys can see it here on the screen as well. So looks like we will have more delays, LS. Everybody's most fun thing, as I can see the face of Aurelian, so he looks really ready to get into it. VODs PC is lagging is the name here, the name of the issue.
Hopefully no Aurelian soul bugs.
Oh, oh no! Don't even
I
say
heard you
that.
like pauses, Brendan. So no.
I put a pause in your pause as we're layering them here.
Yep. Well, so like I said about the team composition, I mean, you look at Afreeca's team comp again, there's no wave clear. They can't resist Baron sieges. They can't take straight up team fights because there's way too much access to their backline. I don't know how Zoe is supposed to be able to be protected. I don't know how Lucian's supposed to be able to be protected.
Battle Zoe.
Who on a KT does Jarvan even want to ultimate? I'm not really sure where the direction of the comp's going. It's sort of like a choose your own adventure book.
Hey, you know, it's right on schedule, Bandersnatch.
It was like watching Bandersnatch, but there would be like this highlight on your screen that would tell you if you do this, you're gonna die, which is basically what KT's comp was trying to tell them, and they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea anyway. So, definitely really interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be very hard for Afreeca.
You mentioned it before that they do have ways to win, and they do have win conditions, but it does rely on you getting ahead early and the enemy team perhaps making some mistakes. So you got to be really confident to pilot this one. And honestly, I mean, Afreeca, the last thing they should be is confident right now as they're down at 2 and 3, and they're up against a team that beat you in game number 1. So I'd probably avoid going for those kind of risky compositions and go for something a little bit safer. But Afreeca don't agree with me. They're going to be throwing Dread onto very much comfort, at least. So a big Camille player. He wants to play it before 9.3 when Jungle Camille does get gutted. And I suppose if there is one guy that you want to try to have pilot this kind of Camille get ahead composition, it would be Dread. So
yeah,
can't fault them too much for that.
Yep. More KT Rolster fans.
These guys are true fans. They got all the gear.
And showing Kuro and Kramer again. I assume that Kramer is back because we're about to have Solna? Solna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lunar New Year.
Yeah, Lunar New Year here in Korea.
Well, let's get the fan chants, and it seems like we're actually going to jump into game 2, guys.
And, yep, we're jumping right in.
Here we are, jumping in, and if you guys are just joining us, it will be LCK's first Aurelian Soul pick, piloted by one of the big Aurelian Soul players, BDD. We were expecting this, we were talking about this, but didn't know that it would come out today. When I say we were expecting it, I meant that eventually one of these big Aurelian Soul players was just going to get too excited about the changes and say, I'm going to play Aurelian Soul. And Spirit also hopping onto his undefeated AP Jarvan support. Can't wait to see if this actually works again.
One of the interesting things about Aurelian Soul 2 is with all the mid lane champions constantly getting hit over and over, there's this thing I talk about where stat checkers end up becoming more powerful, where their kits aren't really designed to fit into well-sculpted team compositions, or they don't really have a theme, such like Syndra, for instance. And Aurelian Soul, one of his main problems was he didn't do damage, and then he wasn't able to come online, and the itemization changes. Well, if no one deals damage, that's okay. He still gets access to his kit. He's still a massive roamer and a threat, and now he has a little bit of added stun.
Oh boy, this is already the crowd's getting into this AP Jarvan support. Also has Aiming, who took W first, but Spirit, he's going to get ignited and has to flash. Oh boy, as Arcane Comet on the Cassiopeia, very standard as well. See you later, lane.
Cassiopeia is a cool champion.
It was fun while it lasted, you know?
All right, so unless something catastrophic happens down in bottom lane, like in game number 1, we're going to get to see why Cassio... Okay, well, report Snowflower.
Huh.
And Aiming getting zoned off a little bit here as Spirit was forced to recall and return back down into bottom lane. One of the things I'm not sure of is I understand that Spirit he has Airy. I know that Jarvan is going to end up building Zhonya's and whatnot. I don't totally understand the rationale behind Spell Thieves. It's just you're not going to reliably be able to stack the gold quick enough. Targon is going to help accelerate your ADC more. I just think that you benefit from it all around a lot more.
Yeah.
Wow, Dread is really trying to force this issue.
Yeah, I mean, this was the name of the game, as you mentioned it. Try to get something going. He already got his flash after hitting level 3, so he was just looking for it once again, and no doubt he will make another return to the mid lane.
Oh, man. Here we go.
It's all about killing BDD as well. Yukal's going to get stunned up, and it's really unfortunate he takes
really
all
good
this damage early on if he's not going to get baited. Although, here comes Dread into the backside. The flash on in. The cleanse comes in. But is it enough damage through the magic shield? First blood. Very well executed over to Dread.
That was an absolutely beautiful bait by Yukal. A lot of people probably watching this wondering, well, why is Yukal taking this donkey trade where he just seems like he's getting clapped for a ton of HP? Well, it's to make BDD have false safety in the lane, thinking, wow, I have such an edge right now. And he inches up a little bit further in the lane. He feels more safe. And then Dread able to just come around one more time, 2 times the charm, as they're able to make that kill work.
He doesn't even insta-cleanse either, so at that point, if you feel like you're going to die, maybe just don't even use the cleanse, as he wasn't even that close to getting away, as Dread really wants to make something happen in all the lanes now. Kingen does have his flash. Whoa. He's going to get disdained here as well. Kingen, you're in so much trouble. Is going to flash at the last second, but the flash through from Keen. As well, he waited a long time to get away from that one, and he paid the price.
Yeah, that was really bizarre, and Dread's making these things happen. We talked about this in the champion or in the post-champ select. This is what Camille needed to do. Nocturne's probably question mark pinging his teammates right now. Yeah, I'm up. I'm up 4 or 5 camps. If you guys could just not die, that'd be great. But take a look at this replay. Dread able to stun Kingen right there. They get the flip onto Aatrox, and then Kingen doesn't flash until he has 1 auto attack left remaining. News to me. So,
I mean, I think in that case, you just either flash the hookshot or you flash the disdain, right?
Yeah.
You wait until they use one of their big engage tools and you just get away from it and you play it safe. Not hand over another assist to the Camille and a kill to the Urgot, who's already enough of a lane bully. So definitely some question marks around all of our heads as we watch this one.
And here's one of the things, is even though Nocturne is power farming, because Camille is only occasionally taking her camps, the respawning is rubber banded camps, so she's getting a re-acceleration to her experience gain. And even though Nocturne is up 23 CS, well now even more, he's up 17 farm right now, he has his rubber band camps coming up, Camille's able to slowly keep recovering by using the fact that her camps are higher level than her.
Yeah, that is true. Well, KT do have one of these lanes that's going really well in the bottom lane. Already the Cassiopeia is giving Aiming the long arm of the law right now, as Spirit had to go back again, as did Aiming another time.
Oh my.
And Dread's in the mid lane again. At least this time BDD is playing it very carefully, as he is going to be able to get away from this one relatively safely.
Definitely looking like he wanted to force that issue. I think that Yukal was standing a little bit too far back to try to go for a flash bubble. Okay, Dread only knows the word gank.
I mean, the more you cast this guy and the more you hear about him, that's what they said. I mean, Spirit told us about this guy, As, you know, Spirit used to be the jungler for Afreeca.
Yep.
Not anymore. Dread is the new guy, and we asked about him, and he's like, this guy is so aggressive in the jungle, you would not even imagine, right? And this is one of the first games that's a true example of that, where he plays his Camille, one of his favorite champions, and he says, I'm just not going to leave the mid lane alone. I'm just going to sit here, I'm going to go get a buff, and then come back to mid lane. That's my job.
And I mean, so far it's working out this game, but it's not quite enough. Nocturne hit 6. This is that power spike Dread. If you go for this, you're going to have a bad time as Nocturne is in... Nocturne fell asleep. It's night-night time, so...
Yeah. Take a little nap, as that's really unfortunate. Oh, Disdain going to miss. So he does just get a little bit more chip damage there onto Kingen in the top side, rather than potentially pushing for a kill on the flashless Scion.
Not quite sure why they killed the cannon. The wave was coming into them. They had multiple spellcasters and a cannon. They could have just froze on aiming in Spirit, but instead said, you know what, aiming? We like you. We're going to give you some CS.
Yeah, and here comes BDD and Umti after level 6. Oh,
okay.
BDD. Oh. And now Umti taking a ton of damage on the backside. Oh, just bad feels for the side of KT. At least they zoned them off the turret, but that could have gone a lot better.
Well, even though they are getting a lot of plates, these plays are definitely being done sloppy, and the setup for them, not the cleanest. Had they just let the wave come into them, aiming and Spirit would have to have overextended, making it that much easier for BDD and Umti to make that play happen. And it's not like you need to make this play underneath the turret and then immediately get the plates. You're already winning really hard. You look at the gold graph, or the gold chart at the top. Even though Zoe and Urgot are ahead in CS, Nocturne's making up for that gold difference, and Cassiopeia and the Targon on Shen is really helping with KT generating their gold lead.
Yeah. Well, Spirit's farming, so he's got that going for him. Has his stopwatch coming along oh so slowly. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to just go straight for Zhonya's again. Seems to be the build from the side of Spirit. Still waiting to hit level 6 as BDD, even though it was a unfortunate beginning to the game, is having a lot more fun, especially with Nocturne level 6. And even the Shen, with all the control they have in the lane, he's just hopping mid every once in a while just to give that extra amount of pressure, clear out the wards, and say, our Aurelion Soul is going to be safe.
And they are indeed making him extremely safe. As Urgot, meanwhile, up in the top lane, he's very close to his Black Cleaver completion. Once he completes that, he becomes a different champion. So, right now there's definitely some downtime. Shen in close proximity to mid.
Spirit's coming for the gank here. He's going to be spotted on a ward as his Dread on the right side here takes that control ward away, and Snowflower not going to play in the danger. Just taunts his way out of that one.
500 gold lead here for KT as Cassiopeia about to return down into bottom lane. Has that tier and the lost chapter. Yukal gets handed over the blue buff, but as we are nearing the end of the early game and we're approaching mid-game, I don't feel like Afreeca generated themselves enough of an advantage despite that great early game start.
Yeah, definitely does feel that way. Cloud Drake is going to be the first one here. We'll see if either team decides to go for it, as once again, Spirit, now level 6, is looking to join up into some ganks, as the river was controlled there very much so by Afreeca, trying to get on in. As here we go. Okay, Scion just going up to the top lane. Thought maybe he was looking to make a play with some of his other buddies, as Dread is waiting in the right side, but he does have to get away. As you mentioned, all the semi-globals, the globals, all the map control that KT have built into their composition. It's really coming into play in the bottom side, as Dread has really not been able to get anything done down there.
Speaking of not being able to get anything done, Kingen probably not going to be able to get much done left in top lane, as Keen is about to return with a Black Cleaver. And interestingly enough, Kingen has the Sunfire Cape. Maybe the rationale for that is that Dread and Spirit want to just be on top of the KT team comp, and so he's trying to maximize his damage value there, but it will stunt him a little bit against Keen on that Urgot up in top lane, as that's not the best first item in this matchup. So Urgot right now is really far ahead, but Scion coupled with a Nocturne gank right here could definitely put an end to that.
They're certainly looking for it. They're going to land the stun. I thought maybe would just go ahead and start up the Rift Herald. Try to go with that. They have that forward control ward, but not starting it just yet. He's just hanging around the top side river. Lots of vision control to the side of BDD up there. So he'll be happy with that for now, as they do spot the Camille in the jungle.
Now they know exactly where she is. They know where she can and can't be for the next 2 minutes or so, despite counting her CS from when the last time they saw her was Dread.
As the smite comes in, and is just going to take that one away for Dread. Not really able to do much in that one. Had no real vision of the Nocturne coming in.
Now you saw Camille, she's 48 CS. You last saw her down in bottom, so you know, okay, well, she's going to go over and do her wolf camp now. If anyone dies to her, you're getting reported. As KT looking to start this Herald, look at the positioning of BDD. If UCal tries to come around from the corner, really like that they're saying, okay, maybe Aurelian's right there. We don't want to get caught by a Q.
Okay, Paranoia coming in, just trying to deny vision before they can get in. The insta-cleanse from BDD as the Rift Herald does go the way of KT. Spirit looking for that engage. He's going to get 2 members, but in goes Snowflower, trying to get the big taunt, and here's Scion as well. They're just going to burst through that support, but down goes the Fear Beyond Death. They're going to get on top of Zenit too, as well as will get dived upon on the bottom side. Low health bars here from Afreeca, but they are able to take a bunch of kills.
Yeah, and this is a really big moment for them, as they might be able to threaten BDD underneath this turret here, although they don't seem like they're interested. All it would have taken was a bubble from UCal or Dread willing to sacrifice himself.
They don't want plates. They don't want turrets, LS. What they want
is Cloundry.
Cloundry. Exactly.
That's what they...
LS's favorite team.
Thing. So they do end up picking this up, and the next dragon that's going to spawn is an Ocean Drake, so not the greatest of dragons here in game number 2. And taking a look at this fight, so Paranoia is used to deny vision away from Afreeca. They end up getting that Rift Herald, and then right here, Dread and Spirit, they just go in. And you can see BDD not being able to really get too much damage in on the fight. They get the kill right there, but then Cassiopeia got hit by the bubble. Not able to do a lot, and not having his ultimate available. Dread and Keen walk away from this fight with very low HP. And the game, at least in the gold chart, is even right now.
Yeah, it turns out to be even. I mean, Cassiopeia is still having fun, but in the last fight, the Lucian down on the bottom side for Afreeca, able to pick up 2 kills and an assist. So getting the majority, the lion's share of the gold from that last fight. He's going to be pretty happy about that one. Also a level up on the Cassiopeia. So you get that Lucian online, you allow him to pick up the Blade of the Rune King. Now they're looking to make a play down towards the bottom side, just loop around here on top of Snowflower, and they have no idea. Now they're going to have a big idea right in the face of Snowflower. He's in a lot of trouble. He's able to put down the dot circle, and the Cassiopeia does fight back quite a bit, trying to chunk down Dread and go 1v3, but here's Zoe. Forces that flash away, but Dread, so close with that Arcane Comet, nearly goes down.
And meanwhile, Rift Herald being summoned into mid. The mid-tier 1 turret is so important for this Afreeca team composition, but maybe gonna die.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, does get that one down as well.
He spell shielded it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Nicely blocked.
Yep.
Could predict as Kayan, he doesn't want to be part of this game. Just having fun up in the top side, takes out a turret.
Take another look at this right here. Now, remember, Zenit has flash available. You can see Dread almost looks like he wasn't interested, but Zenit holding the ultimate until next year. Not able to really do much and just barely missed out on the kill against Dread. So definitely a mechanical blunder right there.
Just waiting for 2020, you know. Let's still wait for that one. Snowflower now is seemingly in a bit of trouble, does have Zenit right behind him, so he is going to be okay. But unfortunately, just gifted over the control ward to the side of aiming.
And Afreeca, I mean, they've been doing this in a lot of their series. They look to make these very forceful plays that require opponents' handshake into it. And when you have a team composition that you know can't go late game, I guess you might feel like, well, this is what we have to do to try to win this game. We're behind on turrets. Look at the turret HP across the board for KT. It's going to be so difficult for Afreeca to actually penetrate them outside of maybe this bottom one, which is only even possible because of the priority that they have.
Yeah. And Dread is essentially being a third laner in the bottom side, just trying to keep them safe as now they want to get on top of Umti. He does spell shield the stun, but going into the back line, there is the stopwatch as here comes King and big stun onto that one. He's going to save Snowflower as, oh, he might burn down, but not quite. In goes Dread as BDD once again trying to go 1v3 as the rest of them are distracted. Snowflower able to pick up a kill. Support v support as Afreeca, unfortunately, this time around went a little bit too deep. And they're going to be punished for that one as only Dread and Keen do live.
Yeah, and Dread and Keen running for their lives right now. And what this is going to mean is that KT is going to be able to pick up minion waves in mid and bottom, although it does look like Urgot will be able to pick that up. Wow, I can't believe that stun hit.
How did that... What?
Yeah, that was really strange. I think the Wolves were even surprised. They're so mad at King, and they're like, that wasn't supposed to hit. Kingan's telling him, go back into your den.
I wonder if that's because he's technically... I don't even want to go through the mental gymnastics of that one. Either way, bunch of turrets going down. They get mid and the bottom lane. So tons of gold going the way of KT as we see this fight once again.
Yeah, so Umti right there trying to spell shield, gets locked up, and you can see that Spirit comes in too, so stopwatch being used by everyone. Beautiful broken hitbox by Kingan, able to land onto aiming. That really didn't look like it hit, but apparently it did. And then right here, Spirit, you can see he gets picked off by Snowflower. Dread gets Snowflower, but it's important to note, he used his flash for this. And killing Snowflower didn't get them anything. It got him an extra 300 gold. Well, congratulations. The next team fight that takes place in the next 3-4 minutes, you're not going to have flash. And I can promise you that your flash is going to be a lot more important in that fight than it was to collect 300 gold.
Absolutely. I mean, you consider where he wants to go. That fight was kind of just, unfortunately, Umti was in a kind of disadvantageous 1v1 position versus the Camille, so he just is able to go in without his flash there. But consider playing front to back behind Sion when you're trying to get on top of Zenit. How can you do that without your flash if you are the Camille? As Umti, wow, he's having a little bit of trouble there as the taunt does come in onto the Zoe as Spirit, no, wrong team, my good friends. Now this is the wrong side. He is able to actually get away, but there's the big stun. Nicely done from the side of Zenit, as he was trying to make the big Jarvan escape actually happen, as now Kingan nearly going to go down, but does have that shield to keep him alive from that Fear Beyond Death.
Really close call right there. Definitely did look like Keen was going to be able to get that Fear Beyond Death. You can see Dread wanting to go in, but he has vision of Kingan on that side, knew that a stun was maybe coming. Oh, a bubble. But no follow-up going to be able to happen. And so now some posturing, nothing much really able to occur as there's no minion wave. Looks like some people are recalling.
Just gearing up for the ARAM.
Oh!
As Ucal, he's on fire. That's, I think, 3 in a row now. Really trying to land that poke down and make that Zoe useful while he can, while it's not in a 5v5 situation, as Afreeca putting the high priority on the one objective that they really can grab right now will be the Ocean Drake. And a second one will be coming in as the third Drake of the game.
And that bottom wave right now, close proximity, going to allocate it into one of the carries. Top lane wave, you can see the pings going down onto it. Maybe KT want to look to utilize it. Now this is KT's chance to punch back. All the jungle camps up, by the way, so KT going to be able to pick them up as well. And Dread is behind in levels, so this is not a very fortunate situation to be in, especially losing the golems. Another one.
Yep, and that one a little bit easier to get down. The miasma is going to be good on top of the Urgot, as actually Kingan gonna blow his ultimate to just get away from that one. As Dread does have a lot of kills. You were talking about how he is going to have a bunch of those camps denied and taken away. Well, he didn't want them in the first place. He only likes kills. He's not actually a guy that likes CS, especially when he's playing Camille.
Camille is still one of the strongest junglers in the game, and I mean, this game, it had a fantastic early game. So she is still quite powerful, definitely able to delete some champions in the blink of an eye, but just so difficult against this KT composition, and it's only going to get worse the longer the game goes. This Scion's going to keep getting tankier. It will eventually hit a point where his tankiness sort of becomes redundant, but for the most part, it's going to be hard for Afreeca's primary carries to get through him, and that just means that KT's going to be able to play front to back with Cassiopeia and Aurelion Sol.
The flag here from Spirit can do a little bit of poking, but also good for checking brushes and also giving some nice attack speed. Got that nice little buff on the previous patch. So Spirit trying to make a case for the support Jarvan, but a lot of people not convinced, including myself. Slowly working towards that Zhonya's, as you can see. The arm guard is coming in eventually. Everyone else kind of just going standard in terms of their builds based on what I saw quickly there.
And if we look at KT's economy right now, a lot of the champions are pooling several hundred or even 1,000 gold, so most likely they just want to get a recall off before the next team fight would end up taking place. And if Afreeca can look at them and be like, okay, they've been on the map for quite a while, let's look at their recipe items. Maybe they're trying to hit a timing on a recall. If we can force them to fight before that, then the gold deficit that you see at the top, it's artificial. Because even if KT is ahead 3,000 gold right now, it doesn't matter if it's all inside of their inventory and not actually the on-battlefield stats that they're getting benefit from. So there's a small timing window that could maybe be abused by Afreeca coming off Fountain. But if KT gets the recall off, it's going to be a very big nightmare situation for Afreeca.
Still waiting on that one, as just a lot of posturing around the Baron. Nobody really able to make any big plays towards that objective just yet, and it looks like there is a ward on it right now with no denial from the side of KT, so that's kind of unfortunate from them. As the Nocturne looks like he wanted to go into potentially the GA, but is teching into some other items along the way.
And Ocean Drake coming up in a minute, not the most exciting dragon. There's definitely no need for either team to have a massive priority for it. And what that ends up meaning is that both teams can just sort of wait and collect items, but it's not really what Afreeca should be in the market for. They need to try to control vision right now around the left-hand side of the map and try to get some sort of a pick, although it's so difficult to do.
Yeah. Trying to relive the plays up against Damwon yesterday by having the Camille wait in the brush and seeing if they can pick anyone off that wants to use the plant and get up to top lane faster like Nuggery did yesterday. But no one biting the bait. We've kind of just sat down and gotten into a bit of a lull here, as no team wants to make any big pushes towards any of the other objectives, but BDD actually now saying, I'm going to go real hard up in the top lane.
And he's pushing quite hard indeed, as Afreeca saying that they wanted Umpty, and all it cost them was a Jarvan ultimate.
Okay, Scion coming in here, not quite able to land that unstoppable onslaught, as now Dread is going to have to hop the wall, as then it was just threatening the damage to come in. BDD now extremely fast, looking to land that stun onto aiming, as Keen trying to come into the front and just deny that one. And he will go on to the Camille, as he does not get feared up with that hook shot. Another bubble to land onto Kingen as they want to go into this one, but stunned up is the Urgot. Man, he is so tanky in that front line, but Spirit not even halfway as tanky, as eventually
Cassiopeia's cool champ.
Cassiopeia is able to just rip shreds through that Urgot. as he was kind of just left alone. Spirit was trying to help him as, oh boy, there's the big stun. Aiming did pack a cleanse in this game, thankfully. Is not going to go down, but you can see what BDD can do in this champ.
Yeah, and the damage output from KT in these sustained team fights is just so high. If Afreeca even wants a chance to win, UCal either needs to poke someone down low enough or just outright delete them, or Dread and Spirit have to do that for him.
Dread looking for the steal. They're going to deny vision first, as well as the plants. Can he
step
guess
one,
it?
he gets the taunt. Now you go for the burst.
Okay, can they get it? In goes Dread, and he's not going to be able to pick it up, as Zoe will get a kill onto the Cassiopeia. But the Baron, most importantly, will go to the side of KT.
Yeah, and that was a really close call. I think I saw the Baron go to 78 HP, so I don't think anyone really won that Baron. But nonetheless, maybe I was wrong there, but does go over to KT, and that means that the Afreeca team comp is going to have a really big problem handling the Baron buff minions. So right now they're shredding through the minions. They're making it so, hey KT, you have Baron, but you don't have minions to use them with. And unless Kingen teleports into top lane, which honestly right now isn't that bad of a call, Afreeca, they gotta get that Ocean Drake. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ocean Drake.
All right.
Let's potentially get an Infernal spot for KT.
Give Infernal an Infernal.
Oh,
no,
just
Mountain? All right, we'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, KT will take that. Thank you very much, Afreeca. Appreciate it. Well, take another quick look at this team fight. You can see that able to say, hey, Dread, do you remember me? As he locked him up right there with the Paranoia. And then even though UCal was hitting these bubbles, just watch the damage that comes out from Cassiopeia and Aurelion Soul.
Look at that flash, too.
The members of Afreeca, they're too short range. You can't get into range of Aurelion Soul or Cassiopeia. You don't have the damage to contend with them.
You really don't, and that was a perfect example of it. And we take another look at this. It got down to 95, and it looked like Dread was early on a smite, potentially.
And that was really good execution, though, by KT. First, Shen takes the blasting cone over, says, okay, you can't come over this way, and then he goes for the taunt, but then KT didn't burst it immediately, and so still, Dread had an opportunity to potentially steal. So
trying to bully down rather, but they're going to be punished for it. Now everybody is the front line, as Cassiopeia easily does damage behind. Lock them up, boys. This game is a done deal, as triple kill of the Cassiopeia. The comp working its magic, as now KT could look for the win.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be it. The death timers are way too high. Spirit and Dread, not the two champions that you want to respawn if you're even trying to have a hope of surviving this push. And with all 5 members of KT still alive, Demolish, Azarun coming in handy as well. Baron minions, this is it for game number 2.
Line it up was Afreeca saying, hey, take me, Scion, and that he did, as the rest of KT able to put the nail in the coffin. 2-0 is the very unsurprising score whenever I am casting for KT up against Afreeca. Guys, that's my 11th series in a row that has gone to 2-0. I have not cast a 2-1 series just yet. We'll see if that changes in the second one, as KT should be very ecstatic about their win. They finally pick up a second one in here in the LCK. They're going to go ahead and shake hands. KT definitely deserve to pick up that victory. Well played. Yeah, and KT in game number 2 definitely looked a lot more decisive and aware of what their comp wanted to do and how to do it. And then it sort of helped that Afreeca's comp sort of helped them too. They were... Yeah. KT was like, you know, we want to come at you, and then Afreeca is saying, you know, that's what a coincidence. Like... That's sort of all that we can do without Zoe, so nice 2-0 win for KT here. And for Afreeca, Jarvan suffers a loss. And, I mean, the story still continues that they're doing these wonky things with picks and bans and whatnot, but for iLoveMove being your head coach and having Nofe, where is the standard, traditional, strong play? And why are they relying on these weird, wonky... This is like watching what I would imagine a NA team in Korea trying to do. These unorthodox strategies, off-the-wall ideas, winning occasionally with it because it does take people off guard, and it can definitely throw people off kilter. But here against KT today, they did fall. You see, Only some sad faces on the side of Afreeca, except Spirit, who never stops smiling. He says, cheer up, boys. We'll get them next time. The never-ending joy just coming out of that guy, as KT, on the other hand, should be very satisfied with their win. Now, do have a win over someone that is not Jin-Air, so that looks very nice for their standings. As I'm not sure if they will move up in the standings after taking this one. I'm taking a look at it now. Looks like they should be exactly tied with Damwon Gaming, funnily enough. So down there, tied for 8th, will be KT and Damwon. But it's a different feel, as Damwon have taken 4 losses in a row, whereas KT have taken a couple of victories in recent times. So they're kind of on the up and up, whereas Damwon certainly have some stuff to figure out before they go into their next series.
Speaking of next series, we have a very good one coming up next. Sandbox takes on Griffin, as both teams are undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get better than that, really. I mean, we were expecting Griffin SKT to be close, but then SKT kind of got stomped, as Griffin do look untouchable. As Sandbox, they are 5-0 in series as well, but they have taken 2 game losses, so definitely something to take note of. I'm gonna actually check here exactly which teams those were. It was SKT and Damwon, so can't really blame him for that one. But Sandbox also the surprising kind of dark horse here in the LCK. Everybody kind of had them at 8th place, 9th place. Some people even said 10th place, but they're here in 2nd place trying to overcome Griffin, as nobody has touched Griffin. They have not lost a single game. The only one that was even close was Hanwha Life. The first game where they were down 8,000 gold, and then Viper's like, I'm playing Kaiser, so yeah, whatever. You know, I'm still going to win this game. So very curious to see if Sandbox can even touch them. Even a game win is a win, I would say, for Sandbox up against a team like Griffin.
Yeah, and I don't think that we've seen a team in Korea, and we've seen teams go on amazing streaks and, you know, keep winning all the time. They've never looked as dominant as Griffin has here in the Season 9 spring. And we'll see if Sandbox can actually take them down, because like you were saying, coming into the split, no one would have expected this to be one of the premier matchups that we would be experiencing in the first round robin, and yet we're here. Maybe Sandbox has something up their sleeve for Griffin.
You know, I would highly expect it, at least in one game. Something wonky, something weird. Maybe some kind of flex like a Jace jungle, or, you know, something off-kilter to try to get some winning lanes, I'd say. Could be the way for Sandbox. They do have some very spectacular pick ban drafting. As you guys are taking a look at this game, in the beginning it was actually looking like KT weren't taking the best of fights.
Look at that hitbox.
I know. It's a big one. He's a big boy.
He was so impressed with Kingen moving that body the way that he did. He was just stunned. Absolutely fantastic. And then right here, maybe you could make the argument that Dread flashed because he thought that he wouldn't get to the blasting cone before Shen could. Yeah. And then he would die. But I guess I'm not too sure what the cooltime would be right at that moment on the hook shot. So, and then this was the team fight that sealed the deal. Absolutely no way for Afreeca to contend in a sustained team fight. They should have just backed off once it was clear that Dread was in the clear, but instead tried to force the agenda, and they learned very quick, you don't do that against Cassiopeia.
Yeah. And AP Jarvan support doing exactly what it does best and dying immediately in that fight, as, I mean, they're just lining up for it here. This is just trying to chase Umti in a desperate maneuver, and Cassiopeia is getting the, you know, the fight of her life, essentially. Just playing front to back and saying, I'll just do all the damages I would expect her to have. Probably the most damage in this game, as a lot of the fights were just sustained, her in the back, killing tanks.
Yep. And that's what she's designed to do. And we were talking about it in the draft. KT opens Cassio, and then you respond Lucian Urgot. Great, you don't have a lot of range. But before we talk about that, MVP Kingen has 100 MVP points, kill participation 83.3%. He did hit, actually, quite a lot of clutch knockups and his ultimate. And this is actually the one that I'm thinking about. Just look at this 18-wheeler coming in right there, and he single-handedly removed Lucian from the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, can't do much more than that, especially because Lucian, probably the only champion that could have saved this fight at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the drifting was really on point.
Yeah.
I mean, he curved around the mid lane brush there and really got on top of him, so nicely done. I think he does deserve that one, perhaps the Cassiopeia, but it's not like Zenit was making the plays happen himself, so he was just doing Cassiopeia things. Either way, I'm going to hand it to G-Sun to help out with the translation.
Thank
you very much, guys. We're going to be joined by Snowflower and Kingen from KT Rolster. Snowflower, it's your first MVP after joining KT Rolster. How do you feel?
첫 MVP가 많이 늦긴 했지만 앞으로 더 많이 받고
It did take a long while, but getting the MVP doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do my best to make sure KT Rolster to pick up victories. Kingen, this is also your first MVP at LCK. How do you feel?
드디어 승리의 맛을
You're
느껴보는
finally
것 같고요.
tasting
이거를 잊지 않고
how
다음
victory
경기도
tastes like.
똑같이 이기고 싶습니다.
I'm trying not to forget this, and we're gonna keep this victory going.
선수는 킹겐 선수 또 엄티 선수와 함께 젊은 피 라인업이에요. 또 오늘
Snowflower,
선수
you
중에는
are
가장
one of the
나이가
young guns of
많으셨는데
KT Rolster,
본인이
and
오더를
you
좀
are the oldest
주도하는
member of
편이신가요?
KT Rolster currently. So,
일단
are you the main shot
팀
caller?
자체가 이제 5명이 각자 자신이 원하는 바나
Well, actually, we
자신의
all
상황을
5
말하고 저희
players
팀이 다
always talking about what they want to
그런
try and play.
운영을 하기 때문에
And we're
제가
gonna just
오더 같은 걸 하지
Pick
않고
the
5명이
best
다
situation
말하는
at
식으로
every
합니다.
moment. So I'm not the leading shot caller. We're just coordinating everything.
오늘 쓰레쉬로 엄청 좋은 모습 보여주셨어요.
There were a lot of
요즘
outplays in
낙한이
your Thresh
하향되고
today.
나서 쓰레쉬가 그 1티어 자리를
A lot
차지하고
of people are
있다고 보고
saying that
있는데
Thresh
본인은
is
어떻게
Fearless
생각하시나요?
champion since Rocket got nerfed a lot.
저는 작년부터 쓰레쉬에 대하여 되게 고평가를 하고 있었고
Well, I thought
1티어까지는
Thresh
잘
was
모르겠지만
actually a really good
언제든지
champion
쓸
since
수 있는
last year.
좋은
I
서포터라고
can't
생각하고
say it's
있었습니다.
a top tier
쓰레쉬
champion,
정말
but it is
멋졌습니다.
indeed a good
오늘
champion.
상대가 스피릿 선수가 피들스틱을 들고 나왔습니다.
Spirit, he
피들스틱
played
서포
fiddle
상대해
sport.
보니까 어떠세요?
How was it?
일단 쓰레쉬 상대로 피들스틱을 되게 많이 쓰는
Well,
경향이 있긴
A
한데
lot of people
쓰레쉬
play
쪽에서
fiddlestick
그랩을 하게
against
된다면
Thresh,
성공하게
but
된다면
if you land your
피들
hook
쪽도
on
많이 위험하게
fiddlestick, it is
돼서
actually really
서로
tricky for them to
5대5
play
구도로
against
할
it.
수 있는 것 같아요.
So I
네,
think it's
알겠습니다.
50-50.
그리고 1세트에서 케인 픽이 나왔습니다. 상대가 엄티
And
선수가
Afreeca
케인을
went with
굉장히
Kane
잘하잖아요.
jungle, but
선수가 무슨 말씀이
Umti is
있었나요?
also a good Kane player. So did he give any
일단
comments about
저희
it?
팀에서도 케인에 대한 연습이 있었고
Well, KT Rolster, we also try a lot of experiments on Kane,
개인적으로
and
케인에
Umti,
대해서
he personally is a
이해도
really
있기
good
때문에 뭐
Kane player.
아무런 말도 없긴
So
했습니다.
we actually
네,
didn't have any
일단
special
팀적으로
comments
케인에
about
대한
it.
준비가 잘 되어 있었다고 말씀을 하셨습니다. 자, 2세트 얘기
And let's
나눠보면서
move
오늘
on to
킹겐
game
선수,
2, Kingen.
유칼 선수와 고등학교 동창이시라고 했어요.
I heard that you went to
네,
same
그래서 꼭
high
이기고
school with
싶다고
Yuka.
말씀하셨는데
And
이기니까
you
좋으신가요?
did say you want to take him down for sure.
이겨서 일단 기분도 좋은데
I'm really happy that I got the victory.
진심으로 저한테 고생했다고 하는
And
거
when we
보고
handshaked
진짜로
after game, Yuka told me it was a good game.
그런
So
걸 느끼면서 좀 기분
felt
좋아
really
좋긴
good.
했는데 좀 미안하기도
and also I felt a bit sorry.
아, 이것이 우정입니다. 마치 청년
It's
드라마를
a
보는 것
true
같은
friendship, I guess.
말이었는데요. 유칼 선수와는 학교 다닐 때도 친하게
Were you
지내셨어요?
guys friends when you were in same high school?
다닐 때는 이제 과가 같은 과라서
Yeah,
그냥
we
이제 같이 다니는 친구로 지내다가
were like just friends.
여기 와서는 완전
but
친해
After I joined
그런
KT
것도
Rolster,
세기를
we
아,
became really close
네,
friends.
알겠습니다. 자, 이 세트에서 아우렐리온
So in the game number 2,
BDG 선수가
BDD
픽한
played
계기가
Aurelion
뭘까요?
Soul. Why was
연습
that?
때, 아우솔
So
얘기는
during the
나왔는데
practice
사실
games,
그렇게
we did
스크린에서
mention about Aurelion
않아서
Soul, but we
비거든요.
actually didn't really
근데
practice it during the
아무래도
scrims.
보성이 형이
But
자신감이 너무
BDD has a
넘치고
lot of
잘하는
confidence
비드다
on
보니까
Aurelion
모든
Soul
챔피언
and
다
also
잘 다룬다는
all the
자신감이
other mid
있어서
champions.
뽑은 게 아닌가 싶어요.
네,
That
오늘
was
중요할
probably
때
the reason
BDG
why.
선수의 아우솔도 빛났던 경기였습니다. 자, 상대가 기인 선수예요. 국대탑 상대해 보니까
And
어떠셨어요?
you were facing up against
사실
Kiin, the
긴장도
national top
됐는데
laner.
저희 팀에서
I was really
제가 최대한
nervous,
긴장 안 하게
but all of our
이렇게 잘
players
순화해서 저한테
were
말을
helping me
해주는
out
것도
so
있었고,
much to let me feel
조합상으로도 제가 편할
comfortable.
수밖에 없었던
And
그런
I had
경기라고 생각하거든요.
A easier matchup, to be honest.
앞으로 더
So,
지켜봐야 될 것 같아요.
I'm gonna keep this
경기
hard work
때는
going.
긴장을 안 하셨는데 지금 인터뷰가 조금 긴장되시는 것 같아요.
손에
I
땀이
think you were a
지금-
bit nervous on interview
편하게
stage.
하셔도 좋을 것 같습니다.
Yes,
저희
I'm
장면
sweating a
보면서
bit on
얘기를
my hands.
나눠볼 텐데요. 17분의 미드 쪽 판타에서 사이온을
Let's go through some
사이온으로 이 궁을
highlights right here.
루시안에게 박아서 이렇게
Your ultimate landed on
베스를
Lucian.
선물해준 장면이 있었습니다. 상황 좀 알려주세요.
What was going on over here?
싸움 나면 저는 그냥 바로 궁 쓸 생각하고 제 진영 보고 상대 진영
So
보면서
whenever a team fight happens, I'm ready to
사실
just
제
ult.
화면만 볼 수 있으니까
네.
미니맵으로 상대가 어디로 움직이는지
So
보면서
I have my
보는
eyes on the
거잖아요.
minimap,
그래서
see where the
잘
opponents
될지 안
are located
될지는
at.
거의 운이라고
I
생각하긴
think
하거든요. 그래서
I
좀
need a
운이
lot of
좋았던 것 같아요.
luck. So at that moment, I was very lucky.
공이 정말 빛났습니다. 킹겐 선수 계속해서 스맵 선수 대신 출전 중인데
킹겐,
부담감은
You're
없으신가요?
playing
사실
as a starting
부담감이라기보다는
lineup instead of Smeb right now. Is there any
옆에서
pressure?
제 스크림도 봐주고
No, there is no
제가
pressure.
부족한 부분도 알려주고
I
제가
mean,
힘들어하면
Smeb is always helping me out so much. He
정신적
always helped me
지주가
during the
되는
screams. He gives me
잘
so
저를
much
케어해줘서
advice.
사실
And also,
부담감보다
he gives
자신감이
me a lot of help in terms of
네,
mentality.
스맵
So
선수의
I really want to
조언도
thank
잘
him.
듣고 있다고 말씀해 주셨습니다. 이제 KT
The
죽음의
KT
4연전이라고
Rolster.
불리는 경기가 남아 있습니다.
A tough
그리핀,
schedule is coming up.
샌드박스, SK,
Griffin,
그리고 다시
Sandbox, SK
그리핀.
Telecom, and Griffin again
네, 어떻게
in the beginning of
준비하고 계세요,
second
그리핀
round
선수?
robin.
일단 저희 팀 이제 개인 팀적으로 많이
I think
맞추고 있는
we are
운영이 있는데
becoming more
그게 거의
solid
다
as a team.
완성돼가고 있고
Our macro and
그게
rotation are
완성이
become
된다면 이제
solid.
저희도 저희 힘을
So,
보여드리고
I think we
드릴
are
수 있지
quite ready
않을까.
to show what we got from now on.
야, 완성형 KT 기대해 보겠습니다. 그리고 킹겐
킹겐,
선수의
wanna add on
각오도
to that?
들어볼게요.
제가 경기를 별로 안 나왔지만
Well, I haven't been playing.
많이 나온
on stage
선수만큼
a lot,
노련하고
but
잘하는 모습 보여드릴 수
I want to
있도록
pull up
열심히
some
하겠습니다.
experience
알겠습니다.
techniques
자,
and
킹겐 선수
mechanics
이제
against a
긴장
lot of
푸셔도
players.
돼요. 인터뷰 끝났습니다.
This will
네,
be the end
인터뷰
of the
고생하셨고요.
interview
저희
with Snowflower
안녕하면서
and King.
끝낼게요.
And I'm
여러분
gonna pass it back to the
감사합니다.
casters.
안녕.
Bye bye.
Oh boy. Here we go again. Thank you, Ji-sun, by the way, for the translation. Wonderful stuff. And yeah, nice to see Kingen actually doing well. Coming out, gets the Vlad the first time. Did actually do very well. Was a little bit surprised that he wasn't able to pick up the MVP for that one even as well. So with that one, they actually do go up and tie with Dom1 Gaming. It's very interesting that they have them at 7th place, even though it's 2 and 4 with -2 for both of them. But unfortunately for Afreeca fans, they do move down to 9th place. And the Jarvan does also get a loss in that one. So, guys, that's the end of the first series. Our next one is going to start in about 40 minutes, I would expect it. So, it's not that hour-long break that we sometimes get that can be a little bit ridiculous. A little bit shorter for you guys, even though it was a 2-0. Mostly because of those delays, but either way, you take what you can get. And guys, you don't want to miss the next one. Will be Griffin versus Sandbox, the 2 undefeated teams, LS.
Yeah, and that's going to be a super exciting series because someone has to walk away with a loss today.
And it could even be Griffin. You never know. I mean, Sandbox is a fantastic team. They've already proven that, but this is going to be, for sure, their toughest opponent and their biggest challenge yet. So, excited to see if there are shenanigans in the pick ban, if they actually just outplay Griffin, or if Griffin select another 2-0 and win. We'll have to wait and find out, guys. We'll join you in about 40 minutes. We'll see you then.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, but with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. This is the beginning.